Let's talk a little bit about fusing. I know everyone's excited when they get all their components. They want to hook things together and see how it works. A lot of fun. And you overlook the fusing part of it, right? And fuses are there to protect all the hardware you have. And you really don't want to put anything together without fusing. We've seen lots of blown up hardware over the years because everyone's in a hurry and doesn't want to put fusing in. So it's really important, and don't overlook this step. You always want to have a fuse between the solar panel and the charge controller. You want to have a fuse between the charge controller and the battery, and you want to have a fuse between the battery and the motor controller. Those are the 3 minimum fuses you need. You can use fuses or circuit breakers, we don't care, as long as there's some circuit protection there. Because what happens is somebody decides, oh, what happens if I plug in this bigger battery to this? Suddenly you've got 400 amps available or 800 amps. If you look at your car battery, you can look at the cold cranking amps available on that battery, and they're typically in the 600 to 800 amp range. You hook up a car battery to that motor controller, and somebody's holding onto the motor, or the cart's against a wall or something like that, you're going to pull all 400 amps through that motor controller to try to make that motor spin, and that's going to burn up the motor controller, it's going to burn up the motor, it's going to burn up a lot of things. So don't do it without fusing. The other thing is the solar panel. People overlook that you want to fuse between the solar panel and the charge controller. It's like, why is that? Well, if somebody decides to hook something different than the solar panel that's been given to them, then they can exceed the current that that charge controller can handle. And that becomes a problem too, because then that charge controller will fail. They typically fail short. So when you do something like that, then your charge controller will stop working correctly. You really won't understand that it's not working correctly, and you'll go back to that over voltage problem that I discussed earlier, and you'll fry your batteries. And so now you have cascaded problems just because somebody forgot to put a fuse in. So don't forget the fusing. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about storage. Your solar panel isn't like the glass panel on your roof. It is a little more delicate, a little more susceptible to the environment. So we recommend you store it in a dry area. Don't get it wet. Don't roll it up wet. Don't try to leave it in standing water or anything like that. And also, if you have an opportunity, take it out every so often and put it in the sun. It doesn't have to have a load on it. It just needs a bit of a sun. SIGS goes through this phenomena called light soaking. It actually, dark storage, it tends to lose power, and to get the power back, you just have to put it in the sun for a few days. And so if you get in the habit of monthly taking it out once, it'll preserve the life of the panel a lot, or it'll extend the life of the panel. So it's a good idea to leave them out if you can. But you don't want to leave them out in the weather if it's raining or if it's close to sprinklers or anything like that. Don't do that. Just put it out in the sun for 4 or 5 hours, then you can roll it back up, put it back in relatively dry storage, and then do that once a month. Hi, my name is Wally Stoss. I'm one of the owners here at P3 Solar. We make lightweight, portable solar panels for the outdoor enthusiast as well as the outdoor professional. We sponsor Racing the Sun because we want to educate the adults of the future on the usefulness of solar, and running their solar go-kart today gets them into the idea of renewable energy.